Welcome to episode 22 of Let's Play Civilization 3, the colonization map. Things have been going quite smoothly in our empire. We've had no war for some time now, and it appears that our former allies, or at least most of them, are still fighting the Germans. And while they have taken no territory yet, the Germans have definitely been weakened. Alright, Sparta, time for you to build a rifleman. And also time for you to build a rifleman. It's a pretty good deal. Those cities are strong enough that they can build their own defenses, rather than us having to use our core cities to build defensive units for them. However, if you remember, corruption was turned down for this game, so the importance of core cities isn't quite as high as it once was. Alright. Debating where I want to send these guys, because I'm very particular about where I like to put my cities. So I like to think and overthink every little aspect of city placement. So send him to where he's going. And as you can see, our rail network is coming together pretty quickly. I mean, it still has a long way to go, obviously, but there's a good start. And now it's time to talk to the Russians. See what those guys want. They want an embargo against the Germans. Isn't that exactly the same thing that the Ottomans wanted? Yes, it is. Now, the thing I can't understand is why the Russians, I know they have at least one source of horses, so they have Cossacks. Why haven't they been able to take a single German city? I thought they'd be able to take at least one, if not a couple, by now. Well, I guess they just don't have good generals or something. Oh well. It's not too big of a deal. Besides, we don't want Russia to grow too much either. We want to keep a good balance of power in this world. Alright. And on this continent, which if you remember I christened New Babylon, we're actually running out of room to build new cities. There might be room for maybe 5 or so more. So the future is over here on this gigantic western continent. There's just vast open fields waiting to be colonized. So it is that area that is our future. Huh. What do you know? The French also want an embargo. Well, I really don't want to do that because I want to keep my options open. Besides, I think the Germans have been punished enough and I don't really have anything against them at this point, so we'll just let them fight their war. Now I can understand why the French aren't doing too well. I don't think that they have any resources of their own. And if they do, they're not helping them. Seems like the French have discovered a passageway. In this game, unlike the real world, there is a northwest passage that can be navigated by ships. Yeah, you have to get around the western continent, you either have to go very far north or very far south. There's really no way around it, and there's no place in the middle you can build a canal either. Although there's a place near the top in which you can build a canal, but that only saves you from going around the very tippy top. It doesn't save you from going around most of it. Well, anyway, build a hospital there. Build more settlement units there. Settlement units. What is it, like Super PC Day? Settlers is what they're called. Alright. Well, those guys are asking for orders, which only means one thing. Every possible square that can be explored on New Babylon has been explored. We now completely understand the continent and all its ins and outs, which is a good thing. So we'll just bring them back up to some of our main cities to get what's the word I'm looking for? Upgraded. That's right, upgraded. Oh crap, look at that. The Chinese are trying to settle another city on New Babylon. One was okay, but two would just be too much. Now the Germans want our help. Yeah, right, like we're going to give them any help. We're not even going to sell them anything. Well, actually, we're going to sell them a territory map because I want to know how much their terrain has been damaged. And when you look at that, the Chinese are under attack by a barbarian galley, and the tiny little galley almost takes down the caravel. I kind of wish they had. That would have been kind of cool. Well, it is now time to load you guys onto the boat. But not until I have settled you. Because the Chinese are going to settle that city on the very next turn. I know they are. The only way to stop them from getting that spot is to settle right now. I'm pretty sure the Chinese will still get a city on that continent, but it's probably going to be in a different and less beneficial spot. Alright. I changed my mind about where I want you. I want you to move one square over and form a city there. Yeah, that should be good. Leaving a lot of room, but still where most squares will probably be eventually used. Alright. The last 10 spearmen that we have in cities that have barracks are getting upgraded to riflemen. It's such a good short key, and although it's expensive, it's pretty much a very good thing to do because it will give us a lot more modern units without having to track them down one by one. Now, there's no one on the big continent going around and exploring, so we're going to send one of the cavalry units with the settlement party. That way, once he gets there, we can set him loose, and he can take a look at this vast continent, most likely encounter barbarians, and take gold from them. Man, pillaging primitive tribes is a great, fun thing, isn't it? Taking their land, forcing them onto reservations, it's all fun. Very fun. Yeah, I hope you guys know I'm just joking and being a jerk. But anyway, did you see that about 5 seconds ago, that Japanese samurai must have been fighting the Germans? Oh, look. Korea and Germany have signed a peace treaty, so I guess I was wrong when I said that the Chinese and the Koreans were going to keep dragging each other in, because as of this moment, they're now both out of the war. And I suppose that's a good thing. For them, at least. For me, I don't know, because I kind of liked, them both using their units on each other. Right now, the city of Kish is growing pretty well. And, we're going to have them build a settler. They're kind of far from anything, but they can still be a part of the settlement effort of the new world, or should I say the new world, the far west world. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to think of a name for this big continent. So, if you have any suggestions for a name of this continent, please tell me. But yeah, I have to think of something cool. Anyway, put some barracks there, because we want these cities to be able to defend themselves as soon as they possibly can. I mean, if the Chinese or anyone else had a significant force in that area, we wouldn't really be able to defend against them. We'd get our asses handed to us, so we don't want to get left behind. We want to keep our military strong. And also, we want to keep good connections between places, so that way, if there's an attack on the westernmost continent, we can have New Babylon back them up with cavalry, because they're closer than the mainland. Now anyway, we've formed a city called Newer. Newer than what, you may ask? Newer than New Babylon? Newer than older? And for that matter, what's older than? Is it older than Babylon? I don't know. I'm being silly. Oh. Yeah, those Chinese are hypocrites, complaining at us about moving troops through their territory where they're moving troops through ours all over the place. I think we probably had one guy moving through their lands, probably a boat, and they have all sorts of settlement parties traveling across their lands. Don't worry, China. We'll have our fight someday. I guarantee you we will, and it won't be pretty, and you won't win. But for now, we'll just have to put up with it. And ladies and gentlemen, can you think of a better way to end an episode than to expand the palace? No, you can't. It's a wonderful thing. Well, hope you enjoyed it, everyone. I will see you all next time. So long.